Now back to the racial component of this story. At UNC, blacks are most definitely a minority, especially African American men. A march called "Can You See Us Now" suggested the Wainstein report was as much about race as academics and athletics. Madison Morgan takes a look at the numbers.
Miles Robinson is a minority. You can see that, but he's more of a minority than you might think. He's one of 546 African American undergraduate males on this campus, and there's a 1 in 3 chance he's an athlete.
You have a lot of black males that are athletes, and then some that are academic. They're here for academics like myself, and you have this perception that if you carry around a water bottle, or if you're in athletic clothes, like you must be on some athletic team.
Even when you add African American females, blacks make up only 8.8% of the undergraduate population here at Carolina. African Americans represent 22% of the state's population. State Senator Gladys Robinson says that's not good enough.
Our kids are good enough. They have the good GPAs, they have the SATs, and they should be admitted to Carolina.
African American male athletes are having little trouble being accepted. Of the African American males, 30% are athletes, most in the 2 revenue sports, basketball and football.
Like the times of gladiators, etc. Use you to play ball, but don't care anything about your life and the quality of education you receive.
Only do African American males like Miles Robinson make up only about 3% of students on campus. The graduation rates of that group are paltry at best. 40% of African American males don't graduate from UNC within 4 years. Carolina's overall graduation rate is around 81%.
You're expected to do a lot in the classroom, outside the classroom, and it can be very overwhelming for the average student here.
The university says it's trying to help. Dr. Taffy Clayton says outreach programs such as the Carolina Millennial Scholars Program are vital to improving the number and graduation rates for black males.
There are units across this campus and individuals, professionals across this campus who are engaged in this work, who are committed to this work.
Senator Robinson is a former member of the UNC Board of Governors. She says it's time for the board to take some responsibility.
And the Board of Governors needs to really have an internal assessment of what's going on. Doesn't matter what school you think you represent on that Board of Governors, you have an obligation to the citizens of this state.
You get mixed in the shuffle sometimes if you don't have a support system like you should or like you want to.
In Chapel Hill, I'm Madison Morgan.